So Ninja Gaiden, great game. Great game. 1988, I think it came out. 1980, 1989, something like that. So it was long time ago. Um, but Ninja Gaiden's been such a beloved series. And with any series, especially with modern gaming, people are always afraid of those games being ruined by modern politics. The first game, like I said, 1988, 1989, great game. Really, really fun game. And then just like most games back then that were like 2D or just on the Nintendo, you have this shift from 2D, 8 bits to 16 bits, and they're still like side scrollers, but then they make this huge leap to 3D. And then you have stuff like Ninja Gaiden or Zelda or Mario where you're experiencing these great franchises in 3D. So the power-ups and level design, you're experiencing that fully realized. Um, so Ninja Gaiden is definitely one of those games that have been around for a while. Great game, really great game. But Ninja Gaiden series return sparks renewed fear of Western censorship in gaming. Because people can't just allow certain things, especially the West. Can't have beautiful women. We got to insert modern terminology into games, and a bunch of stuff that just doesn't need to be there. But watch out! Ninjas are everywhere because the folks at Team Ninja have made a shocking reveal that the famous Ninja Gaiden series is making a big return with 2 new games. During the Xbox Developer Direct, I also think it's funny that all of these games started out on Nintendo. Ninja Gaiden started out on Nintendo. Final Fantasy started out on Nintendo. All these games that are like Sony or Xbox exclusives now, or just on those, they started out on Nintendo. It was announced that the game's most famous ninja, Ryu Hayabusa, will be returning to the homes of millions with a brand new entry in his beloved series titled Ninja Gaiden 4, as well as a remaster of his most popular games, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. The remastered version will be immediately released on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, while the 4th entry is being aimed for at a fall 2025 release. So, yeah, for the holidays. While the announcement of these games has many... Hang on. I was wondering what that noise was. You guys couldn't hear it, but I heard ringing like a little bell. It's Adam out there. He's smacking a little ball around. One of the ringy bells. With the ball with the bell in it. Because I've been hearing that thing all day. This morning I woke up to it. He's out there. He's just... I'm like, Adam, what are you doing? And I saw him play. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I've been hearing all day. Now where were we? While the announcement of these games has many fans hoping that both games will become classics for years to come, many are worried due to some controversy from an Xbox trailer posted to YouTube. The Ninja... Should we just watch it?
Several years ago, the Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to this day.
Infiltrated the facility. Commencing mission. No escape.
Okay, so like I'm not seeing anything so far. I mean, he's jumping off walls. He's splitting people in half. He's like, what?
You're open. Weak. This is it. Ryu Hayabusa.
Okay, it looks like Ninja Gaiden. So what exactly is the problem here? The release trailer for Ninja Gaiden 4 shows exciting gameplay such as grinding on rails to avoid subway trains, piloting a motorcycle down what looks to be a neon-lit collapsing bridge, as well as defeating different monsters in an over-the-top manner that the franchise is so well known for. The newest entry will also feature a new, younger ninja named Yakumo. The premise so far seems to be true to the series' origins, and seems like a positive next step for the franchise that has fans excited. Yeah, it looks really good, and kind of like the cyber kind of like a futuristic looking kind of samurai, and it was really cool looking. However, it is the remaster of Ninja Gaiden to Black that has garnered some caution among gamers and longtime players. The trailer for the remastered Ninja Gaiden 2 Black featured brief cutaways from the game's female character during the PlayStation trailer. However, the new version posted by Xbox YouTube channel strangely omitted the lovely ladies. While some are tired of debates throughout the gaming industry and want to go back to the nature of escape in gaming worlds, many longtime fans are afraid of censorship of their beloved ninjas. The series' female characters, Ayane, Momiji, Kasumi, and Rachel, are known for being pretty and all kinds of cool. They're cool. Slaying their foes with swords, daggers, and magical weapons. Each one of these girls looks like a supermodel, which is why the West won't like them. Which has inspired many cosplays and fan arts at conventions and fan gatherings across the globe. The girls are iconic, and this creative decision is what makes what it adds to the charm of these games for many fans. Yeah, because not only are they attractive females, they're incredibly well-written females. And that's, people want to say, oh, you hate females. No, we hate poorly written females. You can have a sexy, badass female and have them being well-written. And that's what these characters are. Hence why they're not beloved because they're sexy. They're beloved because they're good characters. So it just, and yet people still want to go with the, oh, well, you just hate female characters. No, people don't hate female characters. People hate terribly written female characters. People hate characters, female characters who are written around the sole purpose of emasculating as many men as possible. And, oh, we're strong, tough women and we don't need no men. We hate those characters. But Ayane and Kasumi, we love those characters. Hence why characters like Lara Croft they're so popular. Jill Valentine, Bayonetta, they're strong, powerful females, but they're well written. And yet the left is constantly like, oh, this you cope harder, just admit that you hate. Do you not listen? We do not hate females. We do not hate female characters. We just want them better written. How hard is that? Like, fuck, how hard is it just to have a good, well-written female character? But again, yeah, these characters are so beloved because they're well-written. However, the new and the controversial Xbox trailer now has many players worried that the lady's design and costumes have been altered due to the trend starting primarily in the 2010s that saw less stylized characters, particularly across Western game studios. It often results in dwindling sales figures. Yeah, because guess what? People like sexy characters. Women like playing as sexy women. Men like to play as sexy women. One cutscene in particular from the remaster shows one of the non-playable characters is wearing a less revealing outfit during an encounter with the game's monster. A closer look shows that many of the game's other background characters have different outfits, which could have been a stylistic choice. Various gameplay footage by fans who have played the remaster has shown that the girls' various costumes have remained intact and true to their original version, with many fans even praising how amazing these characters look with next-gen technology. While there's been some valid debate on differences that could be seen as censorship in body portrayals and proportions when compared to their original versions, fans also speculate that the game could change instead. That the changes could be instead due to either the new creative style or perhaps the engine that runs the engine the game runs on. Like, just stick true to the characters. You know? Many costumes featured can be seen as very revealing compared to most games in the industry, and more recent entries that Team Ninja have published over the past few years. Team Ninja, also behind classics such as Ninja Gaiden, great series, Hyrule Warriors, interesting game. I mean, taking that kind of gameplay and adding it to Zelda, it was okay. I mean, the fact that you were able to play as like Skull Kid and Midna and Marin, and it was really, really cool. It was a really cool, interesting concept. The story wise, nah. Also, I do think that that Hyrule Warriors probably has like one of the best looking Ganondorfs. Here's Ganondorf from Hyrule Warriors. I love his design. It's very much like his Twilight Princess design, where you see he has got like his hair and all that, but instead of having the shorter hair, they give him like demise almost hair, very long and very flowing. But yeah, I love the design of Ganondorf from Hyrule Warriors. It's such a cool design. Link pretty much looks the same, except they like gave him a scarf type thing. Really interesting. But yeah, it was a really cool game. You know, again, you can play as Impa, you can play as Sheik, Skull Kid. Really, really cool game. Really cool game. And definitely, it was nice to see them kind of push the boundaries of what people expect from a Zelda game. Like, no one would expect a game like that. Like, it was like a very much like a Dynasty Warriors kind of gameplay. Where you have your area, and then it's like, oh no, this area is being attacked, and you got to over there and clear all the area. You know, that is like, oh yeah, now you got to go run over there and, you know, fight enemies in the way and stuff like. It was very interesting, but it was a really cool game. You know, especially with the characters and their special moves, and you know, but really, really, really cool. Dead or Alive has a complicated history, to say the least. The studio is known for games out in the 80s that are hard as nails, games of the 2000s with stylish and beautiful women, and intense gameplay throughout their decades as a developer. Yeah, they've been around a while. The company is by all means a tried and true video game studio. Yeah, no doubt. With its over-the-top nature being a major factor that has continued to set them apart from the competition. However, while the studio has built a brand of cool, attractive ninjas, they have also been the subject of some questionable choices over the years, particularly regarding the localization of some of the most popular titles in the West. This could be considered more daring, leading to hesitation in localizing them, much to the dismay of many gamers longing to return of many aspects of gaming culture from the past years. Ninja Gaiden 4. Team Ninja's lack of applying the same standards its content featured in the West as opposed to their games in the East has sparked some controversy. There's been discussion among fans on social media sites like Twitter about whether a game with design changes that affects a character's appeal can still be considered faithful to its roots or a betrayal of their fan base. I mean, when you have graphics that are getting more and more realistic, obviously there's some changes that are going to happen. But as long as a design stays true to the character and you try to take that character and translate it as much, the best as possible to the new graphic style or, so like, just like for the women, people complain about like the chest sizes, right? As long as they're not humongous, there should be no reason why you have to like, oh, well, we have to make their chest smaller. Just translate it into a more realistic, if they're kind of like anime-ish looking in a game, but then you translate it to a more realistic, you can make it more realistic. You don't make them flat as a board, though. You make it more realistic, something that they more realistic, because apparently, because obviously, real world, women have big tits. So to say, oh, those are unnaturally large or unreal, no. Look at some of the sizes for women in real life. So it's the matter of taking a character and staying true to what they are. And not just with graphic, but changing a character completely, like their personality. They do that a lot too. They'll take a character and then they'll change the personality of that character. Then it's not that character anymore. Some fans are celebrating the announcements due to the game's use of bold action and outfits that would put Venice Beach to shame, while others are tired of censorship in Western releases. Some have argued that the creative choices justifies new proportions or clothing for certain characters, but other players are viewing the changes, no matter how subtle, as yet another example of unnecessary censorship. It's gonna be woke. Woke and censored. Don't waste your time. I mean, the trailer from what we saw, it looks really good. It looks like Ninja Gaiden, and that's what you want. You don't want a game that comes back after so long that strays off the path of what made it great in the first place. Again, when it comes to graphics, however long ago the last game came out, they're going to try to translate certain things to the modern engine. So as long as you stay true to what these characters are and what they look like don't take the women that were beautiful for like the first 50 games and then suddenly give them the block jaws and the manly no, translate them the way they should be. Keep them feminine, keep them beautiful, but just give them more realistic body proportions in a sense of, like with anime styles, their eyes are overly large and stuff like that. But because Ninja Gaiden has already kind of always had realistic looking people, if their chests are big, leave their chest sizes. If their legs are super long, leave their legs. Just because again, you got to think of it, if you want to go for realism, women have long legs. Women have big chests, and it's always the women that are messed around with. You never see changes to the male characters. You only see it to the female characters because apparently game designers in the West, they're terrified of beautiful women. But considering these are people who don't even know what a woman is. But Ninja Gaiden, the game looks really, really good. But, hopefully it's not infested with anything or has anything forced in there, or it's just a good, fun game like we expect. But let me know what you think of Ninja Gaiden and when you started playing. Which one's your favorite? There's so many of them at this point. But yeah, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.